is October the 18th. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. It's a Wednesday, and I just pulled in down here at Bible Grove. It's a beautiful day. It's cool. The sun's shining bright. Sky is blue. You can hear the trucks moving in the distance. They've been cutting trees. There's a little bit more evidence of some activity out there. Another one of those big old guys has been down, but they'll come out here and pull that top out, I'm sure. I'm going to get in the Jeep and go ride around a little bit and just kind of look and see kind of what the situation looks like around. They haven't moved over to this side yet, which I thought they would be there today, and maybe they'll do that later today. So I'm just kind of down here for the day. Tonight I'm going to camp here. We've got life group tomorrow night at our house in Franklin, and I'll get back for that. But yeah, man, just came down for the day to just supervise, I guess, more than anything else. I'm going to do a little bit. I'm going to try to do a drone flight today. I've got the drone charging in the RV, and when it gets good and charged up, we'll fly that around and get some idea kind of where those trails are laid out. And then I may walk them with my onX app, and then what I can do with that is I can track myself as I walk the trails, and that will then give me a map of what they have got put out there. So, and I may be premature in doing that, but eventually that would be pretty beneficial to know a little bit more about kind of how the layout is looking. Some cool places. I think I've said before that we opened up an area down here. You can kind of see a bright area in the trees down there. That is going to be a campsite, which is great. Just, you know, anytime we can find another spot that's close by here where we can pull power and water, that'll help us set up. And man, we're just kind of down here, just no real goal for today. So that's good. It's always good to do that. You just kind of come down here and just see what happens. It's great. Maybe my neighbors will come by and see me. That'd be cool too. All right, check in later. Well, hey, Harley and Ruby and Lily and Henry, I was out here on our new trails that I'll show you later, but I ran across this little guy. Now, what do you think that is? Can you see him? Let me get over here. That's a really cool caterpillar. Is it too close? Let's see, I bet he's a stinging type caterpillar. I am not going to touch him and find out, but he's pretty cool. I thought you'd like to see that. What do you think about that? All right, this is Wes Durbin's outfit. They're out of Centerville, or no, out of Clifton, I believe, that area. And that's the machine that they use to go back in the woods, that big grapple hook. They've usually got one guy on the ground who's cutting trees, and then they've got one guy in that machine dragging them out here into a staging area. That big yellow thing is a big chop saw, and once they get them staged, they chop them to the right height, and then they back in the trucks, and these trucks go to different places depending on whether that's poplar or white oak or red oak or pine. He's got some contracts with different lumber mills that are looking for different things, and they know where to take it all. It's an incredible operation. I'm going to take you through in a little bit and show you the trails that they've cut. It's really amazing. We actually feels like we've got 10 times the land that we had before. So really happy with the way this is turning out. All right, Harley, there's your pet owl. You can have him, feed him every day. All right, well, good morning. Well, today is Thursday, October the 19th. It's pretty early. It's about 7:15, maybe 7:30. The sun's been up just a little while. We had a little rain shower came through this morning. It's cool. It's nice. I got on the same shirt because I didn't bring any more shirts. Different undershirt, you know. I got a shower last night. I'm not disgusting. A couple of things today. They are clearing. I'm going to do some drone footage of the trails to show Brittany because it's awesome. And I think she's going to love it. And there's a tree that Harley and I found out camping, or not camping, out hiking, one of our first days here. And it's a really strange shape of a pine tree. And at the bottom of the tree, there is a milk crate that someone put there years ago. And Harley and I kind of have this idea that, you know, somebody marked that tree for something. And we think maybe that there's some buried treasure there. So we are going to come back there and dig that up, you know, dig around that tree one day and see what we can find. And I want to make sure I mark that tree before they get it knocked over. It's not something that they would timber or use, but it is something that might get in the way of getting to something. And I want to make sure, we talked about it yesterday, I just want to mark that tree and make sure it survives all this work. Man, it's beautiful. It's cool this morning. It's probably 50 degrees and it's kind of damp, overcast, still, very still. It's a beautiful day. Had a good night's sleep. I went to bed early, about 8:45. I walked all the trails yesterday that these guys have cut, and I'll post a video or a picture of what that looks like now. And how amazing that is, considering how much work it was to clear all of this to get what we do have done. This was almost a year of, you know, coming up here as often as I could, sometimes weekly, sometimes, you know, once a month, and sometimes a couple of times a week. Depending on the weather, get up here and chainsaw and drag and pull and winch, and it was a lot of work. And to see, you know, these guys do that in just a matter of, I mean, they've cleared these trails in a matter of days, like 2 days, because they have the right machinery, you know, the right tools, critical for a job. But wow, what we walked through yesterday and talked about, we've got some really large pine. This is a large pine, but we've got some monster pines that are double that, maybe even 3 times that size back here. And most of those are going to be removed. When a pine tree gets that big, it continues to grow. They get so tall, like that pine tree is probably, it's 95 to 100 feet tall. And these yellow pine, I think these are yellow pine, when they get that tall, they are so much taller. This is my theory. They're so much taller than the other trees around them that they catch a lot of wind up at the top. And a lot of times what you find out is when they get that big that they become very susceptible to wind, and down they come. So when they get that big, it's just time to remove them. And what that does, it kind of just gives room for the other ones around them to grow. So there's several, not exactly where I'm standing, so I can't really show you, but there are several really large pine trees that he's going to take, because those are pretty good money trees that we've identified. And then several more of the red and white oak, larger trees, but we kept some big ones, especially some big ones close to the trails, just to give it that old forest feel. I don't want it to feel like a new growth forest, and so we kept a lot of those big ones, a lot like the same way we did around the driveway with these larger trees, like that one right there, and this one right here. You know, we kept some of those things, so it makes it feel like you're in an old woods. And then this is our oldest tree. That's our post oak. I would say 250, 300 years old. Really cool. So anyway, it's good morning. So I'm going to go down here and mark this tree, and then I'll show you some of the drone footage later in this video. this is the Jeep trail that I cut. And it is narrow, and it is bumpy, and it still needs a lot of work. And I'll show you the difference between what I did and what they did. Alright, this is the Jeep trail that they've got cut. And this is Harley's milk crate. You can see this kind of crazy shaped tree that it's set under. So, all right, so now we've got it marked, Harley. So they won't tear that one down. You see they've come through here, knocked down several of these. There was a big old pine right there. All right, guys, well, I'm in the back of my truck. I'm glad you can't see the rest of it because this truck is like a rolling dumpster. But I've got this DJI Mavic Mini, and I bought the one that has the 3 batteries and the chargers, and they're charged up. And I am going to get this thing set up. I've also got an old iPhone that we kept to use as my controller, which also works really good because you don't really need to use your iPhone, because your iPhone may be recording you. So anyway, I've got all this stuff set up, and I'm going to get these ready to go and all put together so that we can fly. It's not raining. It's kind of drizzly a little bit, but I think we're in good enough shape weather-wise. All right, so there it is, returning home. It's way, way up there, and it's coming down. I don't know if you can see it yet. Straight up. Here it comes. Isn't that crazy? Technology is amazing. Just finds home, brings itself down, knows it's got enough battery left to land. That's all it's going to do. Comes right to the spot. Isn't that cool? It comes right back to you. It comes down here. And I'm going to abort this landing. Hang on. I don't want it to land on the dirt because it'll get sand inside the propellers. So hold on. Well, I tried. What I found out was that you can't see them through the trees. So even though I flew directly over where I thought they were, I can hear them right back here, and I can see the RVs from the drone, and I can back straight off from the RVs where I know they're working right down there. And the trees are just so thick you can't see anything. So I never was able to get any footage. I've gone through 2 batteries, and I'm going to go inside, and now my little iPhone here has got a low battery. So I did a lot of flight time, but didn't get any footage. So I'm going to recharge some batteries, have a little breakfast, and try again. Together. You see how long that tree is. Wow. Now he's got 2 more, and he'll lay that there next to those 2, and then he'll take that big grapple. He'll go in there and he'll grab all 3 of those at one time. And I was just talking to the guy that works the ground here. He said you always want to make sure you're watching above you, because a lot of this stuff will get hung up, and some big branches can get hung up, and they decide to fall whenever they decide to fall. So he wears a hard hat for a reason. So I'm staying way far back, and I'm watching up above me for anything that could fall out of the sky. That's just really interesting to watch. All right, I'm going to get on out of here. Stand back. I'm a little too close to the work, I'm afraid. I got 4 kids at home. I need to stay away from all this. I was standing under a tree over there and realized that half of that tree's broken. And that could go, literally at any time. What Wes and I have talked about is that they will, come through here and look for things like this guy right there that's leaning, and clean that up so that that's not dangerous for anybody to be under it. Okay, so October the 25th, beautiful day, absolutely gorgeous, little breeze blowing, sun and blue sky. It is about 65 degrees. This morning was a little bit cool. We're setting a lot of traffic getting down here, which is crazy. But I'm here today to kind of look through the trails that have been cut and meet with Wes, again, the forestry guy or the logging guy, and we're going to walk around and see if we can identify maybe 25 good-sized pines that we could go ahead and drop and stage for maybe a log cabin in the future, or if he feels like I'm not going to do that for a couple of years, maybe I need to leave them standing and let them grow and drop them at that time. I don't know, but I'm really thinking about doing a log cabin right up on that little hill right there where the old home site would be. Right on the top of that is a great place, I think, for a little log cabin. And we'll build something very rustic that looks like something that maybe O.M. Woods or Mr. Let me think of the other guy's name that was there, Manus. I can't think of his last name right off the top of my head. Onus Manus. Onus Manus was another man that lived up here with his family. So something similar to what they would have maybe lived in back in the day, maybe a few creature comforts. But I'm going to go through here and look at the trails that they cut and just walk around a bit and just kind of get a look at everything today. I'm just going to, I've got a little bit of work to do. I kind of came down here to kind of finalize some things for our Thrive program and just get away. I am so happy with the way these trails have turned out. 2 years ago when I drew this up on paper, just a vision. It's amazing at how close it came out to be exactly what we envisioned for this. I told the guys, just come in here and cut whatever trails you need to cut. I gave them a little bit of a direction on where to leave, come through here, where I just walked through, and off the back of this little trailhead down here. But other than that, they just came in here and laid it out, and I mean, couldn't have been better. So we got our first couple of checks today from the logging company, and so far we're going to put about $5,000 in the bank from the logs, which will go a long way toward, well, not a long way, it'll go $5,000 toward paying off the mortgage that we have on the property. That'll pay, we owe about $48,000, and so that will pay off a little bit of that, and we've got another another $5,000 yet to come is what he's telling me, so that'll be $10,000. So that'll take that payment down quite a bit on the principal. So we're going to put all that money toward that, and then go back to fundraising again to see if we can get some of the improvements and things like that done this winter. Once we've got some more, I don't know, we got some more infrastructure to lay in here, so we've got some more fundraising to do that way. But awesome, man. It just is such a cool setup here, and I'm going to work today on getting this Jeep and trailer moved, and then the little tent set up, I guess, up there. I'm going to go check that out.